Let's get ready to make an Afro-Cuban dish called Quimbombo. Come on, let's get started.
Todo queda sabroso.
What exactly is Quimbombo? It refers to the okra that is the main star of this dish. So many African products like okra came to different Latin countries via the slave trade, and the Afro and the Latino culture combined to make this beautiful cuisine. So we're gonna make this Quimbombo, which is an okra stew, but we're also going to add some pork and some sweet plantain dumplings to go along with it. So we're first going to start off with the plantain, cut the ends off and then cut them in half, and then each half in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil this in water until it's nice and tender, then we're going to mash it. Okay, so now we're going to prepare our okra. As you can see, this is fresh okra that we're working with. Now you can use frozen okra if you don't have fresh available. And all we're going to do is we're going to trim the ends of the okra and then cut it into about 1-inch slices. The okra has what is called la baba in Spanish, which is a sticky substance. I don't know if you can see that. That's natural for the okra. Okay, now that our okra is cut, I have here some ice water, and to that I'm going to add a teaspoon of white vinegar. What that vinegar is going to do is going to cut down that sticky substance that's naturally found in that okra. So we're going to put our sliced okra into our vinegar water, and now we're going to prep our vegetables. To that, I also want to add some garlic. Okay, our last thing to prep is our pork that we're using today. So I had a piece of pork left over from the last video we did, which was the trifongo with carne frita. You can check that out on our channel. I'm just going to cut it into bite-sized pieces. Okay, now that our plantain has been fully cooked, simply going to peel it, simply mash it. And we're going to make little small plantain dumplings. Okay, to a Dutch oven or large pan, we're going to add some olive oil. Right now we're going to add our pork pieces. And we're going to season the pork with some adobo and sazon, two main staples in Latin cooking. Now we're going to add our onions and our peppers to the pan. So now I'm going to add the garlic. Then I want to season with salt, pepper. This is optional, but you can add in a teaspoon of cumin. And then a third flavor base in Latin cooking is sofrito. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of sofrito. Deglaze with a little bit of white wine, about 1/2 cup. I want to let that alcohol burn off. Okay, now we're going to add our pork pieces back to the pot, as well as 1 cup of crushed tomatoes. You can use tomato sauce, but I like using crushed tomatoes better. And then I'm going to add about 4 cups of homemade chicken stock. This chicken stock recipe is super easy because I made it in the pressure cooker. Okay, so now the only thing we're going to do is wait for this to come to a simmer. Now we're going to add our okra. And we're going to stir that around, but we're also adding our plantain dumplings. Okay, we just want to drop them in. Going to cook this for about 15 more minutes, and then our okra stew is done. Look at that. Let's taste the broth first. Oh, That is delicious. Let's taste that pork and see how tender it is. Hot, but that pork, tender. Let's get a piece of that plantain dumpling, some more of that okra and that pork. I can't stop eating. Make sure you try it. Quimbombo.